Hello everyone. This week on MJ Tabletop Creations and Games, we take off to the seas. This week's project is going to be a ship for 28mm wargaming, fantasy wargaming, so it's going to be a fantasy vessel. We're going to go check it out in just a minute. There'll be two ships actually. I am building two because you need two ships if you're going to do some kind of boarding action, right? So, but these ships are also good pieces of terrain on a table that, let's say, represents a dock or something like that. Now, I'm no stranger to building ships. I build these small clay steam vessels, and this is actually a battleship. And these were sculpted from clay, wood, all different kinds of materials. It's on my page here on Tabletop Creations. It's one of the earlier posts. And I think if you visit my page, they're right in front. As soon as you visit the page, I advertise them right in front there. Now, I've made a whole little fleet of these, and I do a lot of models like this, and these are actual game pieces. I use them in my naval games. But I always wanted to play a game on board a ship, where the actual table, the whole table, you know, had this large ship and you can just play boarding actions with another opponent. And so that's what we're doing this week. That is the project of the week. Now the ship that I'm making now is rather small. It's a little bit under 2 feet long, not very big. Let's go check it out. And here is the beginnings of my wargaming ship. And as I said earlier, this week will be dedicated to building a ship for wargaming, possibly two. As you can see over on that side, there is the foam skeleton for a larger ship, and that's going to be good for 28mm scale gaming. And this will be too. I think you can do both on these. Now these guys here, if I bring my ship forward, these guys are 15mm Battle Valor games. These are orcs, and this is a perfect scale for this size of boat. You can actually have boarding actions. You can fight right on the boat. It's perfect. Now this is a 28mm model from Frostgrave, and this is a knoll, and this actually goes pretty good too. You can have like a 28mm warband on the boat, and again, this is for playing those boarding actions that I've wanted to play for so long. Now everything is foam. It has a foam skeleton, and it's that white foam that nobody likes to use, right? Now this is all going to be covered up with a base, because it is going to go on a large base with water effects. And then I use the corrugated cardboard, the part that you peel off the cardboard, in order to make the illusion of the plankton. This stuff is used in a lot of different terrain pieces. In the future, I will show you guys how I use this for the roofs of buildings, and sort of futuristic terrain. You'll see how that works. The only disadvantage to this is that it doesn't always peel entirely off the corrugation here. So, it can get very tricky. But that's what I use, and I use different sizes and shapes to cover up my foam. And then on the top here, I use the soft skin of the cardboard to cover the top. Now, yeah, it does have like these little cracks. That's a disadvantage. But I'm going to work this into the model and do like some battle damage or something. There's always a way. And then, of course, I use these pieces of straighter cardboard to represent like heavier armor, like planks of heavier armor. And then the next stage is to use some putty, get some plaster putty that I have, and fill in all of these edges that need filling in, fill in any holes. That's one of the most difficult parts of using cardboard, is getting these shapes that you need. Now, fortunately, these ships, they were pretty broad in the front, And so, you know, I was able to shape it to give it that sort of broad, kind of wide shape. Now, this still needs a bowsprit, a bow pole, and the holder for the bow pole. And then it's going to have a mast with the rudder in the back and, of course, a central mast. However, masts will be removable because you want to be able to play on this. And I don't want anyone poking themselves in the eye with the masts, you know, while you're trying to move figures around. So, still a lot of work. We need to get the railings on here. I'm going to put craft sticks after I do all of the putty sealing, and I give it a little bit of a file down. I will put some craft sticks to get these edges here, make them a little bit harder. You know, kind of like harder edges so that you don't see these cardboard areas here. And then, of course, we need railings. And once all that is done, then I can start the details of the ship. And I will probably do some, you know, powder guns or maybe a few ballistas, depending on the scale that I'm using it for. So we'll see. There's still a lot of work, a lot of details that I can add. I will have some lifeboats hanging on either side, and these lifeboats will come off so that you can use them in game. So not a bad piece, not bad progress for today. I think that's all I'm doing today. I worked a lot on this, worked hard on this today, so I think it's time to start shutting down. But like I said, I will be doing the sealing of all the areas now with some spackle putty, and then let it dry, and then we can start with the craft sticks. Get these edges a little bit harder than they are now, get some like stronger angles and stuff, sharper angles, and that's it. And of course, we'll reinforce this. Many thanks to my friend who, of course, has given me a ton of foam that I can use in these projects. And you will see this ship evolve during the week. Okay? You will see it evolve. And that's it, folks. Thank you very much. I hope you like it, and I hope you will follow me this week on this interesting project.